Property or real estate is one of the best ways to get ahead of the financial game and skyrocket your net worth quicker than other asset classes. Many people have used real estate as a primary wealth building tool to achieve financial freedom earlier and thus able to retire earlier than most. This video will mainly focus on residential property investing for all levels of your property investing journey. I hope you will find great value in the information I am sharing with you from my many years of experience as an investor. Here is my step-by-step guide and key lessons I've learned when starting my property investing journey. It is a deep dive, detailed and educational, so please stay tuned until the end. Key lesson 1, Step 1, know your goal. Ask yourself, what do you hope to achieve in your property investing journey? Do you want to retire early and be financially free? Do you have a certain number in sight that will get you there? You should calculate your total needs, expenses, and the type of lifestyle you wish to adopt once you have achieved financial freedom. Annualize this number, and this is the number you require to achieve via passive income with property alone. For example, if you feel $120,000 is sufficient for you to live a simple, comfortable life, then this is the number you should aim for when investing into property. Work backwards to work out how you can achieve it. For $120,000 to be achieved, you must have at least 4 to 5 properties fully paid off. To get 4 to 5 properties fully paid off, you need to purchase at least 10 properties along your journey. Then you will need to wait for enough growth to come, and each year you sell off an asset and pay another debt off completely. Once you have done that, you just repeat the process until 4 to 5 properties are fully paid off. Of course, this is only possible if you grind hard with your active income, or if you own a business, then it becomes easier and quicker to achieve. You must buy each property well in order to achieve this. Once you purchase a dud property, your entire portfolio and goals may be jeopardized. This is where the next lesson is a must. Key lesson 2, Step 2. Take advice from experienced experts in the field of property investing. It is easy to get swayed from people around you when it comes to property investing. For example, your family member encourages you to purchase a property near home so that you can manage it. This is the wrong approach, as the proper due diligence and research into the area has not been thought out thoroughly. This increases the risk of buying a dud property. This will stunt your growth and pull you back. Avoid this if possible. There will be people that will tell you what you are doing is too risky, or you will lose all your money doing this, or sometimes they will say that you don't understand what you are doing. It is important to block out this negativity and keep on pursuing what you know from knowledge and education. You have helped yourself. Obviously, you have gathered enough knowledge and educated yourself to be able to start your journey. There may be failures or setbacks along the way, but most importantly, you keep moving forward and keep learning and growing. Embrace failures and mistakes, as these are what will make you stronger and grow. Educate yourself by reading property investing books, watching podcasts from well-experienced property investors, and learn from them. They know best as they practice what they preach. Key lesson 3, Step 3. Knowing your borrowing power and build a team. This is really the question for a mortgage broker. It is imperative to have the best broker on your team when it comes to wealth building. Ultimately, they will be the ones that will help you get the borrowing necessary to purchase your investment properties at the best rates and best lenders. Their knowledge in lender policies, interest rates, and creating strategies for you to achieve your goals will get you there quicker. Once your borrowing capacity is assessed by the broker, it will give you an idea on the purchase price you can go for. Knowing this figure can help you determine which areas to focus on with biggest upside potential. Create networks with your accountant, local real estate agents, property managers and conveyancers and trades. If you build good relationships with these people, you will be able to save a lot of money along the journey. Building a strong team is a must in order to excel your property investing journey. Key lesson 4, Step 4. Know your location when determining investing into a property. What you really need to do is consider a location as a whole and research into it deeply. This means looking into its year-on-year population growth, diversified economy, essential services such as hospitals, financial hubs, and educations are key. Look into its up-and-coming and in the works infrastructure projects, as these create jobs and sustainability. Look into the household incomes of people and the owner-occupied to renter ratio too. Look into the vacancy rates, days on market, etc. All of these must be considered before deciding if the area is viable for long-term. These factors are the reason property prices continue to rise. If you buy well in a good market, then you will create good equity in a relatively short period of time. You can actually time the market when it comes to property investing. Then once you have acquired that asset, then time in the market is important to realize great growth in your asset. You must also consider bushfire and flood zone risks. Avoid areas that rely solely on one industry. A good area to invest must have plenty of industries in that area for long-term sustainability. Once you have determined a long-term viable location, then you can now focus on pockets within that area. Many areas will have bad pockets and good pockets. The good pockets are usually ones that are away from power lines and large industry zones, higher socioeconomic status, closer to reputable schools, no flood or bushfire zone risks. Key Lesson 5 Step 5. Knowledge in property and due diligence. Once you know your good pockets within a location, then focus on that area. Look at the dwelling itself. Generally, brick homes, no asbestos and tiled roofing are desirable on a large block of land. Then you will have to calculate what the rent offers versus the price of the property. To determine pricing, you will conduct a comparable market analysis, CMA, which will compare similar properties recently sold in that same area. Once you know the value of that property, you generally avoid overpaying, so give a reasonable offer, preferably below market value. As a benchmark, the property should have minimum 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, and 1 to 2 carports is okay. Now, once you know the price, you can calculate your gross rental yield. Gross rental yield is a metric used to measure potential return on a property by calculating annual rental income over property purchase price, then times 100 for a percentage. However, gross rental yield is inaccurate as it does not consider your outgoings. So a more accurate representation of your ROI is the net rental yield. To calculate this yield, it is your annual rental income minus your total property-related expenses over the property purchase price. As a benchmark, a good gross rental yield is at least 5.4% and above. A good net yield should be close to 4.5% or above. This is an important metric because it determines if your cash flow for the property will be strong or weak. It is important to put subject to finance and building and pest inspection and all equipment in good working order conditions in the contract when purchasing. These will protect you in case things go sideways. A build and pest inspection are a must as you need to determine if there are any active pests or underlying damage to the structure's integrity. It will be good for peace of mind and save you a lot of money in the long term. Upfront costs associated with purchasing a property is your LVR position. Ideally, 90% LVR is a good ratio. LVR is loan-to-value ratio. LVR is a percentage that represents the amount borrowed compared to the value of the asset used as security. For example, the property is purchased for $400,000, and 10% of this value is $40,000 used as deposit. Therefore, the loan will be $360,000 and value is $400,000, which puts its LVR position at 90%. Ideally, over time, if bought a good property, then that $400,000 value should increase and LVR position will drop. Consider stamp duty as a large initial upfront cost too. Amount of stamp duty you pay is dependent in the state you invest into. Victoria and South Australia currently got the highest stamp duty costs. Queensland and Western Australia are relatively more affordable in terms of stamp duty. Key Lesson 6 Step 6. Know your yearly outgoings. In property, you will realize there are many expenses. When purchasing as part of due diligence, look into the property's council rates, water rates, insurance premium, and any land taxes depending on which state you are purchasing in. If you are purchasing property that is shared with another, such as townhouse or units, then there may be body corporate or strata feet involved. These may be expensive and eat into your rental income. Be wary when looking into these alternative asset types outside of a house. Property management fees need to be considered too. This fee varies from state to state, but it is essential to have a good property manager that truly cares for your property. They do plenty of essential tasks to ensure your property is being managed well and can save you plenty of time. I encourage you to have a strong buffer for any unexpected expenses that may arise with your property. This can be tenant damage, tenant in arrears, and other repairs and maintenance costs. The last thing you want is having to work harder just to meet expenses on a property that is supposed to be making you money. Another aspect is having good building and content with tenant default landlord insurance. This is a must in my opinion, so it will cover you with all aspects of the property. The cost is higher, but it is insurance in the long term that can save you a lot of money if things go wrong. Key lesson 7, step 7, cash flow versus capital appreciation. Many people believe if you have high cash flow, then your property may not grow much in value, or vice versa. I disagree with this as personally I have experienced both in my portfolio. It is certainly possible to achieve both high-yielding assets that have capital appreciation. The national average is 7%, hence anything above this percentage is considered high-performing, capital appreciating. Find properties that have high net yield as stated earlier, and you will have stronger cash flow. The main purpose of strong cash flow is to hold on to the property for as long as you can in order to realize the strong equity growth. Focus on areas with high rental demand, which have very low vacancy rates. These are the areas that will have a year-on-year rental growth. This increases your cash flow position and make it more likely to be positively geared. Aim to be cash positive so you are able to hold on to the property for longer. If you aim to purchase property purely for negative gearing benefits, then you are in it for the wrong reasons. Avoid this approach as it will end up costing you more than you think. Key lesson 8, step 8. Think long-term. I want to leave you with the final step. In my opinion, once your properties are set up and you have built up a considerable portfolio, then it is important to think long-term and be patient. Real estate growth becomes significant as years go by. It will not happen overnight. In a hot market, you may realize great growth in under 12 months, but generally speaking, it can take anywhere between 7 to 10 years. Historically, property is known to double in value every 7 to 10 years. If you purchased a property for $350,000 in 7 to 10 years, it will be close to $700,000 in value. Avoid being emotional when purchasing properties as you may overlook important aspects of the property. Avoid selling too soon. Have strong buffers in place to ride the waves when things go wrong. Time in the market is the best approach to achieve great results. When you have enough equity in your property, then if serviceability permits you have equity cash out and purchase your next one and continue repeating the process to build up that portfolio. Just remember, property investing is a great tool to build wealth quicker than other assets. If done correctly, you will become rich and wealthy. Just be patient, do it right. So what's your next step? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more content like this, and share it with someone who's ready to level up their financial game.